rhymes with Christmas Eve? Because we got to come up with an intro.
Peeve. Weave.
Oh.
Hold on to your weaves. It's Christmas Eve.
I can't. Okay, that's way better than my intro was going to be.
No, but really, it's Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas.
It's the most fucked up time of the year.
I was going to sing, Ghosty girls, ghosty boys, it is Christmas Eve. You better listen to us, but hold on to your weave.
Perfect.
Bang, bang. Yours is way better.
Bang, bang. Well, this episode is going to be a bang banger.
Bang, bang.
Of course, yeah. And what was the last massacre we did? The Thanksgiving Day massacre.
Oh, so many holidays.
Oh, so many holidays, so many murders, right?
What did we say in the text when we were going back and forth? So festive.
It's so festive. Yeah, today we are going to talk about a Christmas Eve massacre, specifically the Covina Christmas massacre.
So
Yeah.
I want a side note why Christina is getting Khaleesi to lay down. Khaleesi has beautiful, beautiful pink nails, which match basically Christina's whole house. And especially Dolly Parton, the Christmas tree.
Yes, I have a pink Christmas tree that I have named Dolly Parton.
And we got to put a picture of that somewhere.
Yeah, I will. I have so many pictures of Dolly.
She's beautiful.
Thank you. I even have a Dolly Parton Christmas ornament on her.
As you should.
Yeah.
And
And there's a little butterfly and a guitar, so it's very Dolly.
Oh, and you have a Dolly Parton for President Stanley now.
I do. I blinged my Stanley out.
You said you were. I'm so proud.
I followed through. But yeah, that's if you ever hear a clangety clang in the background, that's my dog prancing around with her hot pink toenails. And it's dog safe nail polish, I should add. I'm not a monster. Okay?
I don't even, yeah. I mean,
I'm not a monster.
of course you have dog safe nail polish and put it on your dog's nails. I'm not even mad. I tried to put Color Street on her, so.
You did. I think there was still like a little chip on there from like a month ago.
Her Halloween nails. The two I was able to do.
She loved those two nails for a couple weeks.
She didn't give a shit.
And yeah, I'm lying. She did. Well, yeah, in celebration of Christmas Eve today, I figured I would bring you a Christmas Eve one, specifically the Covina Christmas Eve Massacre. Have you heard of this?
I have not, no. But I'm excited to, per usual.
It's really fucked up.
Do I want to hear it then?
Of course. Why wouldn't you? We love fucked up things, right?
Fair, welcome.
That's why you're here.
To our show.
So on the evening of December 24th, 2008, Christmas Eve in Los Angeles, California, the Ortega family, which included 80-year-old Joseph, who was lovingly referred to as Papa Joe, isn't that cute?
Aw.
Along with his wife, 70-year-old Alicia Ortega.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're all playing games and hanging out after enjoying a delicious Christmas Eve dinner together. As the family was winding down for the night, there was a knock on the door. An 8-year-old little girl ran to open the door. She screamed excitedly, "Santa Claus! Santa Claus!" Family members looked to see who had arrived at the home, and at the door stood a man dressed in a Santa Claus outfit. In one hand, the man held what appeared to be a wrapped Christmas gift. In the other hand was a semi-automatic handgun, which he then used to shoot the little girl directly in the face before opening fire on the 25 other family members that had gathered in the home that night for their annual Christmas Eve celebration.
Are you kidding?
No,
I can't. Where do you find this shit?
I don't know.
I know.
The Google.
Fucking Google.
Yeah. The man dressed as Santa would later be identified as 45-year-old Bruce Jeffrey Pardo, who was the ex-husband of Sylvia Ortega, who was in attendance at the party that night at her parents' home. So his ex-wife, Sylvia, was the daughter of Papa Joe and Alicia Ortega. That was her parents' house.
Okay.
Yeah. So first, let's talk about Bruce Pardo and what would drive him to committing this atrocious act on Christmas Eve, which is a night that is supposed to be filled with love and laughter. Bruce Jeffrey Pardo was born on March 23rd, 1963, in Los Angeles, California. He was a graduate of John H. Francis Polytechnic High School and then later attended college at California State University, ultimately becoming an electrical engineer. Acquaintances described Bruce as nice, sociable, polite, and they stated that he always had a huge smile on his face. Staff at the Montrose Bakery knew Bruce as a regular customer and said that he would come in for raspberry and cream cheese danishes 3 to 4 times a week.
Yo, was he a fat boy? I'm just kidding.
Fat boys. Remember that song?
Yes. So I want to eat danishes 4 days a week and not gain 75 pounds in the process.
I know. I don't know how that's even possible, but...
But fuck this guy. I wish he did gain enough weight that he couldn't even walk to that door.
I know, right? But, I added that in just to show that, he was just a normal guy. He was known around the town as just a normal, nice, easygoing, polite guy. Just your average white dude.
Man.
Mm-hmm. He seemed to be doing pretty well for himself. And in 2004, he met Sylvia Ortega, whom he married in January of 2006. Now, from the outside looking in, things with Bruce and Sylvia looked picture perfect. They both had well-paying jobs, they lived in a $500,000 home in a nice neighborhood, and they shared a doggie named Saki. Not cute?
Saki. Saki bomb, Saki bomb, Saki bomb.
But on the inside, it was, of course, a very different reality, as we often see with a lot of couples. Friends of Sylvia's stated that Bruce completely changed after marrying Sylvia, and that a very different and very selfish side of him emerged. Bruce and Sylvia's marriage was apparently riddled with issues right from the start, mainly financial disagreements. It's reported that Bruce was very protective of his own money and insisted that Sylvia pay for the daughter that she had from a previous relationship completely by herself with just her own money. He allegedly wanted all of their finances separate. He didn't want any part of helping Sylvia's daughter financially, and he even refused to open up a joint account with Sylvia.
That's weird. Red flag 1.
It's very weird. And it's sad too. Like, I think of my fiance. He buys stuff for my daughter all the time. He treats her like she's his own.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine how stressful that must have been for Sylvia because, you're pretty much treating this child like they're just a roommate in your house.
Yeah, that's not. That's not a way to be.
It's not. And you have to understand when you're marrying someone with a child, they become a part of you as well. You're not just marrying the person, you're marrying their child also, essentially. I know that sounds weird.
Well, you're marrying all of them.
Exactly.
And that child is a piece of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a package deal. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. This, of course, caused a lot of tension with the couple. And by 2008, the couple were officially divorced. So their marriage lasted like 2 years. In June of 2008, just 6 months before the Christmas Eve massacre, Bruce was ordered to pay almost $2,000 a month in spousal support to Sylvia. Now, right around this time, Bruce was actually fired from his job for, quote, billing false hours while employed at ITT Electronic Systems, where he was employed as an electrical engineer. So he was fired for essentially like falsifying his billing hours. So like saying that he was doing work when he actually wasn't.
Scumbag.
Yep. And we'll get into that. So after he lost his job, this just made his life go from bad to worse. He was already going through a divorce, already finding out that he had to pay all of this money. And now how is he going to pay it? He lost his job. It's also alleged that Bruce hid his disabled child from a previous relationship whom he had completely cut ties with and also lied to Sylvia about. So he was hiding a whole ass child from his new wife. And making matters even worse was that the child was disabled.
Aww.
Yeah, he abandoned his disabled child and then basically just acted like the child never existed.
And didn't even welcome his stepchild
Correct.
into his own world.
Right. Yep. To make matters even worse, Bruce actually had the audacity to claim this disabled child, who he hadn't seen in years, as a dependent on his taxes.
So many red flags.
And just a little backstory on Bruce's son from the previous relationship. He apparently sustained a severe brain injury as a toddler after he fell into a swimming pool in 2001. It's reported that his medical costs were almost $350,000, not even including the continued care that he will always require for the rest of his life, that Bruce contributed absolutely nothing to. The only money that the boy's mother was able to obtain was through a lawsuit to pull money from Bruce's homeowner's insurance policy. But I mean, that was only $100,000, so that didn't even really put a dent in the medical bills, not to mention all of the bills that she's going to incur for her entire life, because he's disabled, permanently disabled. So
That sucks.
Yep. So to add insult to injury, in addition to having to pay Sylvia almost $2,000 a month in spousal support, Bruce was also ordered to pay Sylvia $10,000, and Sylvia was also awarded the family dog Saki. I normally would feel bad for someone in this situation, but I really don't feel that bad for him because, leaving out everything that we already know, Bruce also drained the couple's savings of almost $90,000. He drained it to just $17,000 in 2 months. So, like, on top of all the other shitty things that he did, he also, like, essentially stole money from his wife's savings also. Like, they didn't have a joint account, but they had saved $90,000, almost $90,000 together, and he drained that down to $17,000.
What a shithole.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't feel bad for him for having to pay her, because he definitely he owed her money. He needed to pay that money back. So fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Bruce actually begged the court to award him spousal support since he had lost his job recently and also had a large mortgage payment. And in addition to all that, had $31,000 in credit card debt. But the judge was like, no, you're going to pay Sylvia. That pissed him off.
Well, I don't like this guy.
Court records showed that Bruce's monthly expenses with his mortgage and now spousal support totaled almost $9,000 a month.
How much was his mortgage?
Almost $3,000.
Damn.
They had $500,000 home. Yeah, almost $3,000 a month.
Stupid.
Yeah. And again, he now had no job. Many believe that all of this combined was the catalyst for him just completely losing his shit because, keep in mind, he had no criminal record and no history of violence. I did read in a lot of articles that Bruce just seemed to, like, quote, snap because of the divorce. But I'm going to go ahead and say that I think he was already a huge dickhead. I mean, there were red flags all over the place. The biggest one to me being leaving your disabled child, not acknowledging your child's existence, hiding them from your new wife, and then still claiming this child on your taxes. Like, that's a whole other level of fucked up. Right?
100%. That's all you get from me is a...
Yeah. And I'm sorry. I could never have any respect for a man who just left his child and just left the mother of his child high and dry.
Right. And Sylvia didn't even know about it.
Correct.
That's a problem.
He went out of his way to hide that child.
It's almost like he was thinking that Sylvia wouldn't like him if she found out he had a disabled child, or would leave him or something, which is stupid.
And, like, a real woman would actually, that would backfire. Like, we're going to get mad if you don't tell us that. Like, that's fucked up. Like,
kind of a big deal if you have a child. I mean, disabled or not.
Yeah.
I mean, if
it just makes you look bad. It makes you look really bad that you don't take responsibility or help out your disabled fucking child. That's
right. He's a shitty
disgusting.
person just right there.
Yep. So this brings us to Christmas Eve night, 2008. Bruce Jeffrey Pardo appears at the front door dressed in a Santa suit. Now, it's important to note that this Christmas Eve party was an Ortega family tradition, and they usually had someone show up there dressed as Santa Claus. So I'm assuming that that's the reason that Bruce chose to wear the costume. He probably figured that this would gain him easy entry into the home. Like, he probably figured they were waiting for someone to show up dressed in a Santa suit. So, like, tricked them, essentially.
Yeah.
I figured people would be like, okay, why would someone open up the door for a stranger in a Santa costume? Well, this is why no one would think anything of this, because this was a tradition. This wasn't something out of the ordinary. It was an annual thing where someone would show up as Santa at the door. Now, as soon as the little girl opens the door, Bruce steps into the home and produces a semi-automatic handgun. He then shoots the little girl right in the face and then unloads gunfire into anyone and everyone that he can. When they say this was a massacre, this was the definition of a massacre. And with this, complete chaos erupts. People were running to hide under tables. They were running to take cover, like, behind furniture. They were jumping out of windows on both stories of the house. People were climbing the wall behind the Ortega house to get to the neighbors' houses for help. People were running out of the home screaming. Neighbors stated that a boy ran out of the house screaming that Santa Claus had shot his family.
Oh,
Not
my
fucked
God.
up. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. As I said, complete and total chaos. Reporters said afterwards that this was actually the worst mass shooting of the year 2008, and even went as far as saying that the Covina Christmas Eve massacre was the most horrific domestic attack in the Los Angeles County since the Tate LaBianca murders executed by the Manson family in 1969. Yeah.
Damn.
And I'm sure if you're listening to a podcast about murder, you know how horrific the Tate LaBianca murders were. So this is where things in the story get really fucked up. After the shootings, Bruce then stopped to unwrap the Christmas gift he was carrying, which turned out to be a homemade makeshift flamethrower.
Okay.
Yeah. He then used the flamethrower to spray almost 5 gallons of gasoline all over the home and then proceeded to set it ablaze. The home went up in flames very, very quickly, and the fire ended up being so bad that it took around 80 firefighters almost 2 hours to extinguish the flames.
Damn.
It was huge fire.
That's like a multi-city run for the firefighters. You'd have
almost
to have,
80.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Due to the extent of the fire, the victims had to be identified by dental records. It was that bad. Yeah.
Damn.
A total of 9 people were killed that day. Bruce's ex-wife, 43-year-old Sylvia Ortega Pardo, who was his main target. Sylvia's mother and father, the owners of the home, 70-year-old Alicia Ortega, and 80-year-old Joseph Papa Joe Ortega. Sylvia's 49-year-old brother Charles and his wife, 45-year-old Sherry. Sylvia's 51-year-old brother James and his wife, 52-year-old Teresa. And finally, Sylvia's sister Alicia Ortega Ortiz and her 17-year-old son Michael Ortiz. A 16-year-old girl was also shot in the back, but she survived. After setting the house on fire with his makeshift flamethrower, Bruce changed out of his Santa costume and then drove his rental car to his brother's house 30 miles from the Ortega home. He was later found dead at his brother's house.
What a pussy.
Yep. According to the autopsy report, Bruce had shot himself in the mouth with an exit wound located at the top of the head. Interestingly, the autopsy states that Bruce had burns on his neck as well as his left arm, including skin slippage over about 40% of the left forearm, hands, and fingers. So he got really burned in this.
That gives me a little bit of peace knowing how much pain he was in.
He had to have been in a lot of pain, yeah.
Good.
These were determined to be 2nd to 3rd degree thermal burns. Again, with skin slippage.
I was going to say,
that's a
you
lot.
that's...
Yeah. Also, this really bugged me out. Parts of the Santa costume were found melted into his skin. How fucked up is that?
Can you imagine being in such a rage? He probably didn't even notice.
Yeah, that's just... Ugh. Now, what was super strange to me is that Bruce was found with almost $20,000 on him, as well as a plane ticket to Canada that was set to take off for Christmas Day. So He was planning on fleeing the following day. What I'm thinking is, I think that he was planning to flee. And then once he realized how injured and how burned he was, he probably realized he couldn't board a plane with 3rd-degree burns and skin slippage on his arm. Like, he knew he was fucked, so.
Yeah, they would have caught him either way.
Exactly, yeah. So, Christmas Day, 2008, just hours after the massacre, a pipe bomb exploded in the 1999 Toyota RAV4 that was rented by Bruce and found parked outside his brother's house where he had committed suicide. Now, luckily, no one was hurt in this explosion, but it just goes to show how deeply troubled and dangerous Bruce had become. Despite all this, neighbors who spoke with CNN stated that Bruce seemed normal in the hours before the massacre and even said Merry Christmas to some of his neighbors. That's so eerie to me.
What a maniac.
I know. It's so wild to me how people can look and seem totally normal and then dress up in a Santa costume and kill a bunch of people with a gun and explosives that he handmade.
When did he even make the flamethrower?
Said he had been planning it for months.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you already said that. I'm sorry. You can take that part
No,
out.
it's okay. It's crazy.
He had been planning it for months, yet he appeared normal.
Yes.
Great.
Mm-hmm. It's so scary to me how you never know what's really going on with someone. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, just, and another weird fact, Bruce was actually scheduled to serve as an usher at the midnight mass at the Holy Redeemer Catholic Church in Montrose, California, before he, I guess, changed his mind and ambushed the family. Isn't that weird? Like, I don't know if maybe he was going to use that as an alibi.
Maybe.
That's the only thing I could think, and that because he was planning on fleeing, so maybe he thought that he could, murder the entire family, set the house on fire, go change, get his shit together, go to midnight mass, and then go to Canada. I don't know. And then maybe people would say, oh, well, he couldn't have done that. He was at church that night. That's the only thing that I could think.
And you imagine saying, oh, he was at church.
Yeah. He's a godly man. He would never do that, right?
Never. Never make a flamethrower with 5 gallons of gasoline in it.
I know. Oof. Hauntingly, Bruce's own mother was supposed to be in attendance at that party that night. And he was also planning on murdering his mother because he felt that she had sided with Sylvia and her family in the divorce and not her own son.
As she should. He's a piece of shit.
He was ready to kill his own mom.
Wow.
Yep. Luckily for her, Bruce's mom was sick that night and ended up not being able to go to the party, but she was that close to death at the hands of her own son. It's fucking crazy.
I say this, I think, in every episode. I have no words.
I know. It's unreal. Also found after the massacre was yet another vehicle that was rented by Bruce. And this vehicle was parked outside of the home of the attorney of his ex-wife, Sylvia. Yeah. Inside the car were maps, clothes, and a fuel tank. It is believed that Bruce had also intended to kill Sylvia's divorce attorney. Yep. But again, I'm thinking that him being so severely injured in the fire, that kind of derailed his plan. So that attorney was also that close to death.
Wow.
Uh-huh. So this could have, I mean, it was horrific, but it could have been a lot worse. He was planning on killing other people too.
I wonder if some divorce attorneys are scared of their clients' exes or the people that they go up against. That's got to be scary sometimes. I never even thought about that.
Yes. I will say, I'm not going to give too much information because I don't want to out the law firm that I used to work for, but the first firm that I worked at had a collections department.
Oh, no.
Yeah. One night when one of the attorneys was leaving, he got beat up in the parking lot by someone who they were trying to collect money from.
Wow.
Yep. I think he ended up in the hospital. Yeah. This was after I stopped working there.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, this was in the city in not so great of an area. And that was a real fear that we would have someone show up and yeah, absolutely. People are crazy. People are really great, especially when it comes to money. Now, Bruce's mother, Nancy Windsor, was completely heartbroken after the attacks, which rightfully so. Nancy ended up setting up a fund for the Ortega family and gave everything she could to her grandchildren, including all of the money that Bruce had on him that he had planned to run to Canada with. So the grandchildren got all of that money, which is good.
That's good.
Yeah. Nancy also said in an interview with LA Times that she had spoken to members of the Ortega family and that they said that they all held no ill will towards her and still considered her family.
Well, she was going to get killed too.
I know. I think his mother thought that because that was her son, that they would immediately like shun her but they didn't. So, I mean, the Ortega family, they really seem like decent people. They really do, which makes it even worse.
That breaks my heart even more for them.
Yeah. Now, remember the little 8-year-old girl who opened the door and was shot in the face? Mm-hmm. She survived.
Good.
I know.
Is she okay? Do I ask?
I wanted to save the ending for her because she's a complete rock star.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this little girl's name was Katrina Yuzapolsky. She remembers opening the door and being very excited for Santa. She remembers Santa standing there in the Santa costume, and then she remembers being shot in the face. But amazingly, the bullet only went in and out of her cheek.
Thank God.
How fucking crazy is that?
I mean, that was an angel on her shoulder.
Oh, absolutely. That was divine intervention right there because he was right in her face. He had the perfect shot right there, and all it hit was her cheek.
I guarantee you he was looking for his ex-wife, though, when he pulled that trigger.
Yeah. Katrina ended up only being in the hospital for just a few days. And thankfully, despite losing both of her grandparents, 4 of her aunts, 2 uncles, and an older cousin, her parents and both of her sisters survived. So
she still has family.
Yes, her immediate family all survived, which
Good.
is, sucks that she lost her grandparents and other family members, but God, at least she didn't lose like her mom and dad too.
That would have been too much.
Yeah. In 2023, Katrina graduated from Tufts University, and she's now a huge advocate for gun violence awareness and even works with the nonprofit organization Brady, United Against Gun Violence. Katrina was interviewed by Tufts Now, which is a campus website for Tufts University, and she was quoted as saying, "Even though at times it might not feel great and it might not feel like you deserve to be here, you're here for a reason and you have so many more things to accomplish, things to try, and people to meet." Katrina actually majored in psychology and she was a star softball player for the Jumbos.
Aww.
And I'm going to end this episode with another direct quote from Katrina in her interview with Tufts Now, where she said, "Given how much loss my family has faced and how much hardship I have faced, I am extremely grateful for all of the opportunities I have had. It's very easy to get sucked into the darkness and not be able to pull yourself up. Getting through that and being able to live life filled with friends and love and happiness, I'm just extremely grateful."
I love her.
I know.
And she was 8 when that happened?
She was 8. So she was around the age of our kids, essentially.
Yeah.
I know.
What a strong-willed, strong girl.
I know.
Woman now.
That really spoke to me because here's this girl who has gone through an incredible tragedy. She got shot in the face. She lost family members to gun violence. All that trauma she had to endure. And here she is thriving, and she's making a point to focus on the good and not the bad.
Yeah.
And she's also very vocal about gun violence. So she's giving back to her community.
Yep.
Yeah. So this Christmas, I think we should all take a page out of Katrina's book and just be grateful for what we have. Be grateful for our friends and family. Grateful for life's opportunities that we've been given. Just to be grateful. Because it could be so much worse.
I love that.
Yeah.
Aw. Merry Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas Eve. Are you ready for Christmas?
No.
No.
I
not
am.
either.
I am. I think. I don't know.
I got my Christmas shopping done really early this year because I wanted to not have that stress. but life and Sagittarius season hit me in a different way.
Yeah.
And I have stress from like every other aspect of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just crazy how I thought that the like shopping would be the most stressful thing. And that turned out to be the easiest thing. And now everything else is stressful.
I think shopping's the fun part. I love gift giving.
I love gift giving too. But I have to do online shopping because in-store shopping, like I just get so much anxiety.
Oh no, I don't go to stores.
Yeah, it's too much. There's too many people. The lines are too long. It's hot.
Yep.
I just can't deal with it.
No. And everybody is so angry and
Oh my
aggressive
God.
and just nasty. And
It's so
I
bad.
don't get it. I mean, every now and then you'll have that like rare interaction where somebody walks by and they're like, "Oh, happy holidays."
Yeah.
You know, which is nice.
Yeah.
But for the most part, lately it's just been like, everybody's a freaking Grinch.
People are so angry now. Like not even just in stores, but like on the road. Like road rage is so bad. People are just like I just don't understand what's going on. I
don't
really
either.
don't. So yeah, let's be like Katrina in this story and spread a little love and gratitude and just I don't know. I think I said this before in the Thanksgiving episode, but just pay someone a random compliment. Like if you're standing in line waiting for your Starbies or something, just say something nice to somebody randomly. Because it'll make you feel good, but it also like you never know if that's just what that person needs to turn like their entire day, if not their life around.
Yeah.
Like I've had such bad days and like somebody randomly that I don't even know will compliment me or say something nice and it'll literally make me cry. Like it will turn my entire day around.
It
So
lifts you up a little bit when you need
it
it.
really does. And it's just kind of like I feel like when you're at your lowest and someone does something nice for you, it restores your faith in humanity and it makes you want to go out and be nice. So it's like
Yeah.
it's like a pay it forward type thing. Like you be nice to someone, they'll be nice to someone else,
Yeah.
and it'll just, you know,
It's like a flower opening.
yeah,
All the petals.
yeah.
I don't know if that's a good.
Be the flower. Be a flower petal.
Yes.
A Christmas poinsettia.
But don't poison cats if they eat you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
I digress, but when I went to the grocery store, I went to Acme like last week. They had the prettiest pink poinsettias.
Oh.
And they had gold sparkles all over them. I wanted them so bad, but I can't with my cat.
No, Binksy would have eaten it. She's already trying to eat Dolly over there.
My cat's such an asshole. I mean, any cat owner, you know, cats
know.
are assholes.
But she's cute.
She's cute, but she'll fuck you up.
Listen, she let me hold her today for the longest I've ever held her, which was about 35 seconds.
Before she tried to attack you. Yeah.
But did she though?
She didn't. She just flailed.
She flailed. She flailed. She did not scratch me, and she let me love her for 35 seconds, and I'll take it.
She flailed while Alicia screamed, "Let me love you."
It's true. Just let me love you.
It's just another day in my household, you know, another day that ends in Y.
You know, Fridays.
Yeah. But we thank you for listening. We hope you guys all have a wonderful Christmas. Again, do something nice for someone.
I have a suggestion.
Oh, yeah.
If you're driving and someone puts their blinker on,
Let them in.
them fucking over. Don't be a dick. Don't speed up. Just let them over. Actually, I have a story to go with that.
Oh, yeah.
I know we're ending this episode.
Let's
but
do some story time.
It's kind of sad,
Oh,
but
Jesus.
it also gives a point to
Okay.
what I just said. in a
I'm
way.
ready. Hit me.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So you remember Tankita, our bulldog?
Mm-hmm.
I know. This is
Alicia had the cutest bulldog
my
named
God.
Tankita Juanita. It was Juanita, right?
Tankita Juanita Chiquita Banana.
She had her own Facebook page and everything.
She was actually represented Bulldog Gin. She was like the face of Bulldog Gin
Oh,
for a little bit. I know, and she skateboarded. She was the coolest.
She
was
really
a little
was.
rescue.
She was
Oh my
she was
God.
just the coolest dog ever.
She really was. And then I had Banjo, who was.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
I know. Sorry, I'm going to stop.
Damn it.
Anywho, so Tankita. We knew something was going on with her. We had taken her to specialist vets and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I was also like 9 months pregnant, right? Don't
You're gonna make me
dare.
cry. Okay.
Don't you dare.
All right, I'm gonna focus on my Starbucks.
Focus
Continue.
on your Starbies. So we talked to the vet probably 3 days before I was scheduled to have Jackson. And they were like, go have the baby. She's okay. We'll continue, tests and stuff after you get home. So, had Jackson, week in the hospital, came home. The first full day we had Jackson home, she just collapsed, right?
Oh.
I know, this is so sad. I'm sorry. Please don't cry. Please don't cry. Stop it. So I, who am on pain medications, just had major surgery.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? Like
I would have been a wreck.
Well, Jack was more of a wreck than me because I'm on pain medications. I'm like, what is happening right now?
Ugh.
So I had to call my neighbor for my 5-day-old son. Can you please come watch my child until my mom gets here? We have to rush, Tankita to the vet. So Jack carries her. He's in the back seat with her, and I'm driving, right? This guy in front of me is going 25 and a 50.
Oh, yeah, hell
and
no.
I'm beeping, and I'm flashing my lights, trying to tell him it's an emergency. Mm-hmm. He slows down and puts his finger out of the car. And I'm like, you don't understand. I have a dying dog. I'm trying to get to the hospital. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if he just would have taken a second.
Yeah.
Instead of being an asshole and been like, you know what? Clearly you're in a hurry. You have to get somewhere. Go. That's what I do. You know what I mean? I pull over. Go. If you want to get there before me, go.
Yeah.
Fine. But that little bit of time still would not have saved her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but still, it would have been a courtesy, But it might have helped us get an extra moment to say goodbye. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. For sure.
I think if you just kind of think about, you don't know what that other person is going through.
No, you don't.
Never do. And I think that's so important to really don't always just think about yourself.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let somebody in. Long story long. Somebody puts their blinker on. Fucking let them in.
Thanks for making me fucking cry.
I'm sorry. You can take that whole thing out.
No.
Because I feel like it's inappropriate on Christmas Eve to be so fucking depressing, but...
No, we just talked about a murder.
That's true.
Not even a murder, a massacre.
I'm trying to teach everybody a fucking lesson. They might have a dying dog in their car. Let them
Or they might be trying to get to the hospital to meet or to see a dying family member. I remember when my Grammy was in hospice, and I can't remember if it was my dad or my sister, but somebody called and they were like, "Shit, it's gonna be soon. She's not doing well." And I rushed to the hospital. I ran red lights. I passed people in the shoulder. I didn't even give a flying fuck. And then I pulled up to the hospital where they had the valet, and I was like, just do whatever you need to do with my car. I got to get into hospice. And they were like, go.
Yeah.
But you really never know what's going on. And honestly, anytime I see someone tailgating me, I pull to the side and let them go. Same. Because it's not even because I don't know what they're going through. And I don't know what they're going through. But also, if you're in that much of a rush, don't put my life in danger. I'm going to get out of your fucking way and you can go.
Exactly.
So, yeah, long story long, let someone in. Yeah. Let someone merge.
Yeah, but wait.
Oh, not if they go up on the side, though.
Wait, if they don't use their blinker, fuck them.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not. You have to use your blinker. You have to, because that's fucked up.
Now that we've given everyone a lesson on driving.
Defensive driving with the ghosty girls.
being kind.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas?
Merry Crimbus.
Merry what?
Okay, so that was an inside joke with my fiance. Have you ever watched the Tim and Eric show? It's called Tim and Eric. Awesome show, great job. It's on Adult Swim. It's one of those really fucking weird
is
shows.
It Eric Andre?
No. No.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you the link. It's the wildest sketch comedy show you will ever see.
Then I will love it.
And they have one that's the Crimbus special.
Okay. Crimbus. Merry Crimbus.
You and Jack will die when you watch that. So yeah, anyone listening, watch the Tim and Eric show and then email me about how much you hate me for telling you to watch that, because it's so you guys stupid. Are gonna be amazing. What the fuck? But yeah, Merry Christmas, Merry Crimbus, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy all of the things.
Yes.
Yes.
We love you. Thank you for listening and sticking with us if you're still here. Mom, I got you a cool gift.
Aww.
Like she already knows what I got her. It's fine.
Well, we will see you next Tuesday.
Don't be one.
Bye.
Bye.